Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
This is a very interesting matter. I happen to know Mr. Polafoko very, very well, very well. I've known him at close range, long before he became chairman of the party and after, and so on. And it seems to me that Mr. Polafoko is actually on the left of the New Patriotic Party. He's not conservative. He's ready to go out there and experiment. He's ready to go out there and test new ideas and so on. That's how I've known him. So I'm not surprised that he's doing the kind of analysis that he's doing now. Okay. Now, for me, this is the major question. If you go today and elect a presidential candidate with all the clout that comes with presidential candidates and so on, how can you then ensure that the persons or the positions which will be filled after he had been elected presidential candidate will not be filled exclusively by his cronies?
Okay.
His influence will be overbearing. So rather than build a democratic party, you build a structure whose loyalty is not to the ideals of the party, is not to the ethos of the party and so on, but which is absolutely loyal to the presidential candidate. And that's a problem in organization, especially an organization which prides itself as a democratic institution. You understand what I'm saying?
But Kwesi, isn't that a sad reality of our politics, where people align more with individuals and personalities than the party? You have complained about that several times.
Yeah, but you make efforts not to entrench it.
Okay.
You make efforts to depart from that. Whoever is elected, it's not about Dr. Baumia or Akomprekun or whoever. Whoever is elected would have a substantial influence in the outcome of the elections of the national executive and the grassroots and so on. So the party, again, and I say again advisedly, will become a tool in the hands of a presidential candidate. You know, and in that process, the values are likely to be lost very, very quickly. That's a real danger. Okay.
Especially when Nana Akufo-Addo was accused of same.
Well, they accused him of that.
Yes.
You know, there are many people in the party who accused him of that. You know, and that danger still looms. You understand? Then Polafoko raises a very interesting issue, which has to do with the fact that they themselves, and this is their claim, I haven't verified it, but they claim that they lost the elections because many party loyalists refused to vote for the party.
Yes.
Okay.
So apathy.
Apathy.
Okay.
Okay. And then I've listened to my brother's explanation about the zeros which were scored in some polling stations and so on, but it's still strange. I mean, the explanation is not sufficient. Understand? Are we saying that in a whole, polling station, not even one person dared to vote? I mean, that's a problem. But
not even the polling executives.
Yes. Not even the polling agents.
Yes.
Because there were polling agents who were
that's
sitting there in the name of the party. They didn't vote. Okay. Now, if that is the case, why would you use the same structure to elect a presidential candidate? Why would you use the same structure which apparently rejected a presidential candidate, to elect a presidential candidate for a major crucial election?
Kwesi, minds can change.
No doubt. But find the evidence first. Okay. Find the evidence that minds can change.
Right.
First. Because minds don't change by accident. They change as a reaction to some stimuli and so on. So you have to find the evidence, Now, Moro, having said that, this process of building the party from the top has been criticized by many, many heavyweights in the party. In fact, somebody like Boachie Ajaku, who has been with the party from the very, very beginning, has been very critical of this approach. And he's not the only one. There are many others. I mean, even people who are contesting for the presidential candidature have criticized this process. Now, it seems to me that they're being ignored. And they're being ignored by an executive which appears to be very unpopular at this stage. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, if you talk to your friends in the NPP and so on, it is clear that the current executive is not that popular. Okay. Now, if you have an executive which is not that popular, and it appears to be dictating the pace for such a crucial exercise as the election of a presidential candidate, then there's a problem. Okay. But beyond all of that is the state of the party. The party is in a bad state. I mean, if you take elections throughout our history, perhaps the only election in which they fared so very badly, the performance was worse than the last election, was the 1951 elections.
Right.
Apart from the 1951 election, this is the worst performance of the party. And it appears that the party will continue to suffer some significant defeats in the coming years. And so it's already lost 2 by-elections, including 1 seat which it was holding on to.
But what's the basis for this doom prophecy for the NPP?
It's not a doom prophecy. It's an appreciation of the reality. It's there in our face. I mean, it's done so badly. How many seats does it have in Parliament?
87.
And it's lost 1. It had 88. It's lost 1. Now it's down to 87.
Yes. Tamale Central is on his way.
Tamale Central is on its way. It wasn't their seat, but it wasn't their seat.
Yes.
But if they had contested,
yes,
I can say with certainty that they would have lost so embarrassingly. Okay?
Right.
Now, there are rumors that there could be another by-election on the way. I'm sure you've heard them.
Yes.
There are rumors. Why? I can predict now that they will lose that one too if it happens. Okay. So watch the scenario. This horrible performance in an election, and everybody agrees. I mean, there's no dispute about that at all. Everybody agrees that the performance was very bad. We just heard the clip of the presidential candidate himself. I mean, the results were very bad. It was horrible. And it appears to be going down and down and down, the popularity of the parties. You need to do something extraordinary to jack up public confidence in the party.
But that's what Dr. Bamia started. He's apologizing. He says he's so sorry. He started it. It's as if he knew that you're going to advise the party to do this. He started. He's going around apologizing.
First of all, what is he apologizing for? Do you have any idea?
He hasn't told us exactly what he's apologizing for.
Well, don't act exactly. He hasn't told us anything about why he's apologizing. Yes. That's number 1. Number 2.
He only said the party's done a lot of wrongs, things they could have done, they couldn't do.
Number 2.
Yes.
Just a few months ago, 2-3 months ago, he was saying that he lost because he was a first-timer.
Yes.
And that in Ghana, it's normal for first-timers to lose.
True.
That doesn't jive with what he has just said, does it? Huh? Before then, the claim was that even your Kwame Nkrumah couldn't do as better as we have done.
True.
So, what is the true position? What is the true position? I don't know.
It is a combination of all those factors.
Oh, then we should be told. We should be told that...
He's giving us a list of them. 1, he's a first-timer. 2, they wronged Ghanaians. We don't know what the other reasons.
And that is factual. Especially our party.
And it is also factual that this is the best performing government in our history. If this is the best performing government in our history, why the apology?
That's a legitimate question.
If this is the best performing government in our history, even your Kwame Nkrumah doesn't come anywhere near, then why the apology? You understand? So I think that this party needs to have people who are sober, who are reflective, who can imagine, and who can design a better future for the party. And it is interesting that Paul Afoko has said it.
Yes.
Many others have said it. Even former President Kufuor himself has hinted at it, that they don't seek advice from them, what they say doesn't matter, and so on. And they are not the only people saying that. I mean, somebody like Mr. Kwame Pienim, feels neglected, and so on. How do you build a party which is in this state to the point where it can win an election, and so on? I don't know. But the party is on its way down. In fact, in the words of former President Kufuor, again, he's saying that the party risks becoming like the CPP. That's what he said.
Right.
Is that not what former President Kufuor said?
Yep, he said it. Fact.
Do I know better than former President Kufuor? I don't.
Jacques,
Yes.
any quick reaction so we can move on?
Look, this is a change. As I said, the conventional way is not followed. We always have people, no matter what you do, you always have people who will criticize it. For me, if it was informed by the research, by these eminent people, and these people have democratic legitimacy, that would be my question. Do they have the democratic legitimacy to vote? I think they still have mandate. I don't have problem with that. It's a strategy people will not understand. We don't expect everybody to accept it. It could be a strategy. So if it is a strategy, and for me, what it will work for me is early reconciliation after the leadership race. We'll have enough time to reconcile people. And I believe if NPP is united, we can win the next election.
Yeah, but Kwesi raises a very...
Yes.
Something which is very, very significant. And I'm sure you are aware.
Okay.
Even those who are contesting the elections,
Yes.
and many others, are saying that, look, all of this arrangement
Yes.
is deliberately put together in order to ensure the victory of only one person. You've heard it, haven't you?
Yes, some people have criticized that. But have you seen video clips? I've seen video clips of the General Secretary saying very good things about Canada and Japan. People could equally read that to say that he favored Canada and Japan. These allegations would always be there, especially if you don't like it. Do you know that even our Congress, when we're about to have that Congress at the Legon Stadium, people are tempted to even inject it. And it turned out that it was even fake because the guy details they use is actually somebody from my town who later denied, no, it wasn't him. You always have people disagreeing. But I believe that it is just a matter because we're going for an election. After election, people will find a way to reconcile.
Okay.
I think people will accept it.
And sir, don't you also think that one of the problems that the party is having is simply because people in leadership positions are quick to declare support for candidates? Don't you think that that's a huge problem?
I agree with you. But it is not just our party alone. It's a phenomenon in Ghanaian politics. It was the same way John Mahama during their time. Yes. Some people were not happy. You remember during their leadership race, somebody had to pull out of the party. And they brought the person back. It's a phenomenon.
Who was that?
What is his name? Is it the former finance?
No, he never pulled out of the
I
party.
say, whatever be the case, he wasn't happy.
And Massa, let's be honest.
Okay.
I mean, the former finance minister, I'm sure you're talking about Dr. Dufour.
Yes.
Dr. Dufour, more or less, is beyond friendship. My relationship with Dr. Dufour is beyond friendship.
Okay.
And from the very beginning, I told him, and I said it publicly, that he didn't have a dog's chance of winning the elections.
You told him in his face.
I told you. It even led to some hiccups in our relationship and so on. But be honest with yourself.
Yes.
It was so obvious I don't see why he couldn't see it and why his supporters couldn't see it. That was not a serious challenge.
Yeah, but it was just a side point I wanted to make. The point I want to make is that some executives are driven by interest. For me, that is wrong. Especially if you contest, as I said, I have contested primaries and I have made donations to my constituency. So let's assume you've made donation and you pay your party dues. And then you've later realized that all the executives are tilting towards one person. To the point that if you want to meet some group, the executive try to deny you. Obviously, it's a human thing. You will not be happy about it. So those ones, they are evil. We can find a way to kill them. We are not saying that as an executive, you may not be able to support somebody. But if you are using the party machinery or party resources to favor one particular person, these are evils. Both parties suffer. And we have to find a way.
Are you happy with the situation where your parliamentarians trooped one candidate's house and say, we are declaring support for you? Are you happy with that situation?
Because see,
Even it's their right.
Even the spokespersons, when they come on this show.
Yeah, political,
even
the spokespersons of the party.
belong to this camp or that camp. Yeah, spokespersons of the party. They've declared.
I think that one, like me as a communicator, yes. Bawumia is my favorite. I want him to become the president. There's nothing wrong in a democracy where you pick a side. And I think it's actually good democracy. I'm talking about people who have leaders of the party. For them, I want them to be fair to everybody. But if I'm a parliamentarian...
Like national chairman, national vice
for
chairman,
them, for them,
general secretary,
but what I'm saying is
minority leader.
It is not only
minority leader.
I think the minority leader hasn't picked a side.
Yeah, but I'm saying that he should belong to the category of people who cannot be pledging support to candidates.
No, so I think the minority leader. So that's how you.
Yeah, but he hasn't publicly aligned.
He hasn't.
No, I haven't said that he has.
Yes,
I'm saying that
he
should belong to the category who cannot be declaring support for candidates.
Perhaps. Yes.
Regional chairman should not.
Okay.
So that's why I say
these things are driven by individual interests. These are some of the.
No, he's not disputing that. What he's saying is that let your interest stay there. Don't publicly comment.
So we have to find a way of curing them. But for parliamentary candidate, former district chief executive, municipal chief executive, I don't see any problem with it. They are allowed to pick a side.
Those are former
and if they want to do it,
you mean former MMDCs?
Yes, former ones. Well, we don't have current ones. If the current one wants to come and support them,
but here's the thing. But as spokespersons, an NPP person is watching you.
Spokesperson for the
spokespersons for the party.
Yes.
You declare for candidate A, B, C, or D.
Yes.
How do you want them to take?
You mean communicators for the party?
I'm talking about, yes.
Like myself.
Yes, so you're a spokesperson for the
as a member of the legal directorate.
Yes. Or you're a communicator for the party.
Yes.
How do you expect the person who's watching you to take some of the analysis there, especially when it comes to party issues?
I think
very well where you belong.
Giving us that freedom that you can support whoever you like. I've seen people sitting down here declaring support for Brian Achampong.
Yes.
People supporting Kennedy Ajapong.
Yes.
For me, as long as you do not discriminate by saying that maybe only Kennedy Ajapong people should go to Good Morning Ghana, but Bawumia people cannot go, or Brian Achampong people cannot go, then that will be a problem.
Okay.
But if everybody is given the equal opportunity to go and declare for whoever you want, I don't see any problem with it. But if you are within the party...
Are you not worried about the mixed messaging?
Okay.
Because all the candidates don't have the same vision for the party and for the country.
Very true.
So if, as a party, you're sending these mixed messages, what do you think that impact?
But that phenomenon is not limited to the NPP. That's the problem. It's both parties.
We're discussing the NPP now.
Yeah,
let's focus.
But still have in mind that that evil, if you call it evil, it's not limited to the NPP. Almost all the parties suffer from it. And for me, I don't actually see this as an evil if everybody is given equal opportunity to do that. Only the party structure is where I wouldn't want them to come out and say, we are supporting this. Because at the end of the day, if you elect the person, then people might be very suspicious whether resources were channeled for the benefit of one particular person.
Okay.
But if an individual person, I'm not connected to the party in any way, other than I'm a strong member, I'm a lecturer. I mean, I should have the freedom to declare my support.
Yeah.
And I don't even have a vote.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Okay.
So, let's look at some other issues. Yesterday there was a big event. There was a big launch. The president himself was there. And I'm talking about the big push. It was one of the major campaign promises of the NDC in the lead up to the 2024 elections. And yesterday, finally, it's been launched. In fact, your party kept asking when the big push was going to be launched.
Okay.
Of course, in addition to other things that the NDC had promised, which had not been delivered yet, either partially delivered or not delivered yet.
Yeah.
So today's daily graphic captures that event, and it says that So it says the big push project takes off. President Mahama cuts short for 3 major roads. And it says that Alberto Manrio Noretti and Kester Abram Crunchy says that the government's flagship infrastructure development program, the $10 billion big push aimed at comprehensively addressing the nation's infrastructure deficit, has been launched. And it says that the President John Dramani Mahama, who bear the ambitious initiative to boldly deliver infrastructure to incrementally seal the yawning deficit, launched the initiative yesterday at Titrinu, near the Volta Regional Capital Hall, in the company of Titrinu. Okay. I've just been corrected. It's Titrinu. Yes, Titrinu, near the Volta Regional Capital Hall. Now, in the company of Ministers of State, Regional Security Service, public and civil servants, chiefs and elders of the region, as well as a section of the residents, the President cut the sword for the redevelopment works on the first set of roads under the initiative, the 117-kilometer stretch from Atimpoku in the east region to the Volta region towns of Sekuma through, I think it's Anyuriase. I hope I got that correct. Anyarawasi. Anyarawasi Ho and Denu to Aplawo. Now, President Mahama said the project will serve as a model for other road projects under the initiative. Before a joyous crowd, the president symbolically operated an excavator to mark the beginning of the nationwide road construction and rehabilitation drive, which is expected to expand or to expend at least 13.8 billion cedis this year and 30 billion cedis next year until the 10 billion cedis has been expended. Today, we are delivering the bouncing baby, big push, President Mahama said at the national launch event characterized by a festive atmosphere, adding that the Volta region has had some of the most neglected, abandoned roads in the country, and year in, year out, the chiefs have cried for repair and maintenance. The ceremony, Titrinu, was attended by government officials, members of the Volta Regional House of Chiefs, including its president, Togbi Tepre Hodo IV, the Agbogomefia of the Asogli state, Togbi Apede the 14th, and a large number of enthusiastic citizens who share the president's announcement. And he goes ahead to talk about the funding, talks about the local content, talks about the Dodua, Fenya, Dowenya corridor, and so on and so forth. So it's a major project that the president launched yesterday. So I'll start with perhaps Mr. Kwesi Pratt. So what do you think?
Well, look, I think that the launching of projects are interesting, they're important, they're glamorous, and so on. But ultimately, it's the completion of the projects which are most important. And I have seen many projects launched in this country which didn't go anywhere. So I'm happy that this project has been launched. I want to hope that this project will be completed on schedule and that at the end of the day, the quality of works would last, you know. I believe very strongly that roads are extremely important for national development. And I am one of those who believes that national infrastructure needs to be reoriented. There has to be a reorientation for national infrastructure, including railways, including roads, and so on, you know. So this is a good effort. It's a good beginning. I'm hoping that it will come to a good end. Okay. Now, having said that, I know that work has also started in earnest on the Accra-Kumasi Road. Moro, you know the Accra-Kumasi Road. I mean, there's a road on which you could travel for less than 3 hours from Accra to Kumasi.
Okay.
Okay. Now sometimes it takes 6 hours to travel from Accra to Kumasi. the impact of that on the national economy is huge.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Kumasi having been the second biggest and most important commercial center in Ghana, and Accra being the national capital, for this short distance, if it takes 6 hours to get to Kumasi, you have a huge problem on your hands, you know. So I'm happy that these projects have started. And ideally, I would have liked to see the Trans-African Highway, which stretches all the way from La Côte d'Ivoire through Ghana to Togo to Nigeria and so on, completed. Because that will have huge impact on the movement of goods and services, you know, across the West African region. It's so very important. I would also have liked to see the road network from Accra all the way to Ouaga and beyond, you know, also completed. I mean, if these two roads are completed, the impact will be so huge. Then, of course, there's the Eastern Corridor Road, and we've heard about the Eastern Corridor roads many, many times. It's such an important, you know, link. I mean, Honorable would know better than I. I mean, even in its bad state, sometimes it is much, much easier to travel through you know, that Eastern Corridor Road to Tamale.
Yeah.
You know, and so on. And if it's completed, I mean, it would contribute significantly to our development and so on. So this is a very good initiative. There's nobody who's going to say that this is a bad initiative. This is an excellent initiative again.
Okay.
The important thing is that we hope the targets will be met. We can only hope that at the end of it, the quality of craftsmanship will be very, very high. But this is a good effort. This is a good project. This is commendable.
Yeah. All right, Ishak.
Yes, as is rightly said, it is a good initiative. Nobody will have any doubts. Because if you look at their 24 hours, how do we call it? A project program?
24-hour plus.
Yes, so
economy.
Connectivity was one of them.
Yeah.
So they talk about road connectivity. And as you said, the Kumasi, the Accra to Kumasi, I think stretching it all the way to Paga. It's actually a national embarrassment. Because if you compare it to other countries, and since independence, we have not been able to dualize the road. Even if we're doing it 20 kilometers since independence, actually by now we would have gotten to Paga.
Even 5-5.
5-5. So it's a collective embarrassment for all of us. And the number of deaths that have been recorded on the road, simply because one driver is sleeping and drive to the path of another driver, it's quite embarrassing. I'll probably say we've lost more than 1 million citizens on the road since independence. That alone should have been a national cry. So for me, I think we need to have an agenda. If both parties cannot have an agenda, the dualization of that road should be our common agenda. Regardless of the party, add a particular kilometer to this particular road. To the point that maybe 2050 we'll get to Paga. If we have to move at a snail pace to go to Paga, to get to Paga, let's do it. So yes, it's commendable. But the problem of Ghana had always been the lack of cultural maintenance.
Right.
Most of these problems, where we cannot even get to Paga, is simple because we allow the existing road to deteriorate to the level that we have to go and get another loan to do the very road we have done it.
Yeah.
Why can't we do it like other countries where there's a continuous maintenance? We may not even need a huge capital outlay to do these particular roads. So perhaps maybe the highway, maybe we need to reset down. If the highway is not doing that job, could we give it to the local authorities? Especially with this drip project that the NPP started.
Right.
It's a good project. I hope that the NDC should not abandon it because somebody started it. Perhaps they should acquire more equipment to give it to the local councils or assemblies and urge them to continue with that kind of maintenance.
Right.
And the existing project as well. I would urge them, they shouldn't say they were NPP projects.
Okay.
They should. It was Ghana money NPP have used to start those particular roads. I think completion is also quite important.
Yeah.
So the existing project that started and were left out. And if perhaps 2028, which we are sure will be coming back to power, if they leave any project, we would complete them.
Right.
But we have this particular debate whereby they say, oh, it's our project, it's their project. For me, I believe these are projects of the Republic of Ghana.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who started them. So those particular debates, maybe we need to stop them to make sure that we complete them. Okay. But I know there are so many uncompleted projects,
right,
especially in the northern sector, whereby we urge them to complete it. So I think it's a good initiative. Okay. But the culture of maintenance, we need to emphasize it.
Okay. 2 quick points.
Yeah.
You mentioned maintenance culture.
Yes.
It's an extremely important point you've raised.
Yes.
Yesterday, I heard the president say that an amount of 5 billion cedis has been allocated, which is going to be generated by the road fund, purposely for the maintenance of our roads.
Yeah.
That should be a piece of good news for you.
Yeah.
You also talked about DRIP,
an
initiative that, well, the NDC argues that you didn't start it, they started it, you just continue. But for me, it doesn't matter. Okay. The DRIP program will continue. Yes. Because Neil Atevan, he comes on the show today from time to time. Yes. He talks about, he always updates us on some of the new, initiatives that are coming up. So that's just to...
And we should guard against their misuse. Because I've heard reports that some assemblies, the GCE are now using it like their personal property.
He's very passionate about this himself. Yes, he's very passionate about this particular issue. Yes. Anyway, so we can only wish the government well, isn't it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Now let's move on and talk about something. But before we do that, the Amasaman, Kwesi in Sawam Road.
Yeah.
You know, one of the...
PENDREAM TV. Now, so far, so good. Say, open online portal, Ghana. Nipa share, Nipa follow, Nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.